record button? Yeah, I did. What's up, guys? It's Super Ray Dizzle here, and today I have something very exciting for you. So I posted this on my Instagram recently, and you guys loved it, and I really am appreciative of that, but it was so incredibly easy to make. And I've been getting a lot of requests to do more like 3D artwork, so I thought it'd be such a good idea to combine Christmas time, which would be the candy cane, with the 3D artwork with some realisticness. So put that all together and we get today's tutorial. And you know I don't like to ramble on, so let's just start the video. You guys like that Christmas music I got going on? Feeling festive? Step number one will be to create a perfect outline. And since I wanted this tutorial to be as easy as possible for you beginners, because I do have a lot of beginners on my channel, don't be afraid to trace, especially if this is going to be a Christmas gift for your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. I personally went in and redid it to make it thinner. That's just what I thought would be a little bit more realistic, but whatever you want to do, you go ahead and do it. Now on to the incredibly hard step of number 2, filling it all in with a white colored pencil. Using the Artify watercolored colored pencils, all I'm doing is just filling in the candy cane, and this is going to act as a base, and it'll make it so much easier instead of trying to like do layer of white, layer of red, do layer of white, do layer of red. All you have to do is just add the red. Oh, in addition to that, it'll also make it very waxy and easy to blend the colors. So now with a light red pencil, all I'm doing is going to add the stripes. So let me zoom you guys in really quick. So candy canes have two different types of lines. They have a thick line and small lines. And I'm going to start off with the small lines. And so all I'm doing is creating a row of 3. And once I'm done with that row of 3, I'm going to blend it out and make it look more waxy like candy with the white colored pencil. The bigger lines are a lot more harder. They're not just lines, they're like curved. So let me show you in a blown up version what these are supposed to look like. Since we want our candy cane to look as 3D as possible, we want to make the lines look like they're wrapped around the candy cane, so in a kind of circular motion. So one thing you don't want to do is to create perfectly slanted lines because it doesn't give it that curvature that it needs to be. So here's an example of a don't, perfectly straight lines, and instead create a curved surface. And honestly, that is one of the secrets to the candy cane, is to make it look like the stripe is wrapped around the surface instead of just laying flat. And it kind of can be a hard concept to grasp, especially if you're new to like 3D. But once you get it, all you have to do is just repeat it over and over again, and you'll definitely get the hang of it. And back to the candy cane. So now I'm going to go ahead and fast forward it, put on some festive music, and I'll meet you at the next step. So before anything else, I want to get rid of some of those dark lines that surround the whole entire candy cane. And I'm not too worried about the parts that are going to have shadows and are just going to get blurred out anyway, but I did want to work on that. So with the same Artify colored pencil set, I'm getting a basic red-brown pencil, and all I'm doing is just adding some of it to the sides of the stripes to give it a three-dimensional look, like adding shadows. So if you look closer, I'm just reinforcing some of the red, make it less patchy, and then I'm just going over it and pressing kind of hard to mix the colored pencils. So for those of you who are a little bit more advanced in your technique, what I'm going to do next is totally optional, but I'm going to bring out the shadows even further. So I'm getting my Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, and these are like the super highly pigmented kind. And basically I'm just going to go over what I already created and just create a nice dark smooth gradient right across the candy cane. Yes, look at all those shadows. One thing I just love seeing is like the progression of my artwork whenever I add shadows and highlights. Like it looks like a butt before, but once I add all the shadows and stuff and it looks 100 times better, I'm just like, oh, thank God for shadows. And again, I'm going in with the white to blend, and you'll see like my little eraser pencil, my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And I'm just cleaning it up and making it look a little bit more sharp and soft in some places. Now moving on to the most important part, and that is creating a casted shadow. So before I move on to shadows, I just want to apologize for my shoddy um, color placement. I had to use my mouse, and it was incredibly hard, so that's all I'm gonna get. And that's the best it's ever gonna get. But anyway, anywhere where there's blue shadow is where the shadow will be casted. Starting off with my number 2 pencil, I'm just going to start creating the outline of the shadow. And I'm using a number 2 pencil because it blends the best in my opinion. And it also creates a nice base for the black that's going to come in here in a second. And then I was like, it's time to blend. So I started with my finger and then moved on to my blending tool. And what I want to do is try to view. Blah, 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 blah. I can never talk in my videos. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm trying to diffuse the shadows. And what that means is I'm trying to not have like harsh lines right next to the candy cane. I want it to be like a nice soft gradient like shadows are in real life. You know, they're not like immediate hard dark spots. They're like soft. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So now with my hardcore shadows, I'm going to start putting them in with a black colored pencil. In retrospect, I probably should have used like a cool tone gray colored pencil, like a really dark one, but it's fine. So anyway, I'm just going to put the black where I showed you earlier with the blue. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. And basically, I'm just going to line the whole entire candy cane with that. All right, so now that I have the shadows aligned where they need to be, I'm going to start diffusing those shadows with the black colored pencil. And how I'm doing that is just lightly going over with like light strokes and just creating like a nice feathery gradient and trying to just make them look a lot more softer. And this part was kind of dumb. I was like, oh my God, it's too hard. I need to soften it. And so I was like, I'm going to use this white colored pencil and make gray. And yeah, it didn't make gray. That was dumb on my part. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, moving on. So if your colored pencil is too harsh, I like to get my eraser pencil and just kind of go over it, and it will pick up some of the pigment off the paper and it will make it a little bit lighter. If none of these tips have worked out for you and you just can't get the hang of colored pencil, because sometimes, colored pencil is just hard to work with, it's just hard to blend, then I recommend using a pencil that has like a really dark graphite in it, or even using a charcoal pencil, because with those you can actually spread and smudge the pigment, and it's kind of hard to do that with colored pencil. So yeah, the key to this is to add those heavy shadows and then try to diffuse those shadows. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is the high quality color corrected scanned version.
Alright guys, that's all the tips and tricks I have for you today. If you have any questions, y'all know the drill, leave them down below. Thank you guys again for watching my video, and if you guys want to see the rest of my Christmas Realistic 3D series, you guys know where to follow me on Instagram. And before I go really quick, I was planning on not uploading for about a week and a half, but I feel like that's just way too long to not upload. Like, I want to upload something for you guys. So let me know if you guys want like a speed drawing, if you want like art advice or inspiration or something like that, or if you just want me to like kick it old school and do like a vlog or something, let me know. Let a girl know, okay? Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys so incredibly much. You guys are just absolutely amazing. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. What's up? I like hit the thing and it's like literally flat because I like hit it so much. I'm like, hey guys, what's up, guy? Oh, wait, we already did that. We're on to the ending now. I'm so itchy. Did it mess up my hair? What's up, guys? Okay, that's so dumb.